My name's Kathy Ullis, and I'm a driving instructor, and I live in Kendry. From the age of 16, I was a spiritualist. It came about because my grandma died, and you search for something. And I thought that communicating with the dead uh, was alright, because nobody really says it isn't. There's a lot of films about Ouija boards and fetching things through, and people, when they start messing about with that kind of stuff, they've no idea what they're getting into. And you get kind of evidence. You feel there's some people that seem as if they know what they're doing, and they talk about, and they'll come to you and they'll say, "Oh, I've got your grandma," and all the rest of it. But it doesn't seem bad people, so you don't think that it's wrong until you actually open a Bible and realise that actually it is wrong. When I first listened to the sermons, they weren't saying, they didn't say a thing about spiritualism or anything like that, but there was a growing thing inside me that I knew that it was wrong. And I knew that I shouldn't be doing what I was doing. You think you're helping somebody when somebody dies, and you go to them and you say, "You've got somebody here, and they're and you think they're helping them get over it, and it does temporarily, but there's nothing temporary about Jesus, and that's the difference. Jesus is the forever light. As a spiritualist, I believed in God. I wore a silver cross. I believed in God, but I didn't have a relationship with God. As a Christian, you have a relationship with God, and that's the big difference. That's the difference that makes you a different person. And Jesus is the way to God, and that's what I began to understand. I have a lot more patience. I've always looked after myself. I've always been somebody that's been very independent and looked after myself. And it's always been me in charge of me to sort things out. And I remember Peter said, "You've got to love God first, Jesus first." And I thought, how can you do that? I can't do that because I've got my daughter, I've got my husband, and then suddenly I could. And once you put him first, all the rest just slot in behind it. Your love doesn't change for your daughter and your husband. In fact, it can become very different. It actually becomes deeper in a much different way. I thought at first, how can I spread seed? Because I don't know enough. I don't know enough about that sort of thing. But what I do know is how it's made me feel and how it's made me react. And there's been a couple of things that's happened, and I thought I'll put that on Facebook, and then I thought I'll not put the bit about God in it, and I thought yes I will, and I did, and I didn't get any I didn't get any negative comments or anything like that. I'm not saying that I won't do one day, because one day I will get. There's always negativity out there, but God will sort that out, and God will fetch who He wants to fetch, and He will guide me in the way He wants me to be guided.